Imagine a world where beauty wasn't just vanity. It was a weapon of power, a silent language that separated rulers from the ruled. In candle-lit chambers and gilded mirrors, royal faces were painted not for charm, but for control. Every pale cheek, every line of kohl, every drop of rouge told a story of authority carefully crafted to hypnotize the masses. These were not just cosmetics. They were symbols of divinity, of untouchable bloodlines, of power disguised as perfection. Behind every royal portrait was a message. We are different, we are chosen, we are above you. As the people watched their rulers shimmer with gold dust and porcelain skin, they didn't just see beauty, they saw command, and that's where the illusion began, where makeup stopped being art and became a throne in itself. The story of beauty's power began centuries ago, when royalty was recognized not just by the sword, but by the face. In ancient times, when Queen Cleopatra of Egypt lined her eyes with dark kohl, it was more than adornment. It was a symbol of magic, divinity, and authority. In the royal courts of Greece and Rome, glowing skin and delicate features were not simply marks of beauty, but emblems of status. In Europe, pale skin became the ultimate sign of purity and power. For while the laboring poor were darkened by the sun, the royals remained enclosed within marble halls, their luminous faces declaring the purity of noble blood. The whiteness of skin, the soft blush of rouge, and the scent of rare perfumes became a silent proclamation that these were no ordinary beings. They were chosen, touched by the divine. Thus, beauty slowly transformed into a kind of worship, and the royal face became a throne of its own, where every color and every line carried the fragrance of power. Makeup soon became more than decoration. It turned into a language of class that silently divided the powerful from the powerless. In glittering palaces, the pale, powdered faces of queens and courtiers announced their superiority without a word, while the sunburned faces of workers told another story of struggle and survival. Rouge on the cheeks, gold dust on the skin, and perfumes made from rare flowers became marks of privilege that only the elite could afford. For the royals, beauty was not about attraction, but about distance, a way to remind everyone that they belonged to a higher world, untouched by labor, sun, or imperfection. Commoners who dared to imitate royal beauty were mocked or punished, for makeup had become a badge of divine rank, not fashion. In portraits, royal women glowed with porcelain faces and painted smiles, symbols of purity and control carefully crafted to keep the illusion of superiority alive. Every stroke of white powder, every hint of red on the lips, whispered the same unspoken message. We are above you. Behind the shimmering glow of royal beauty lay a dark and deadly truth. Those flawless faces were slowly being poisoned in the name of perfection. The pale foundation that made queens look divine was often laced with lead. The rouge that brought life to their cheeks contained mercury, and the powders that sparkled under candlelight carried toxins that seeped into their skin day after day. Yet the illusion of beauty was worth the pain, because to appear flawless was to appear powerful. Many royal women suffered from decaying skin, hair loss, and mysterious illnesses, but they wore their painted faces like armor, hiding sickness beneath the mask of elegance. No one dared to question it, because looking human meant appearing weak. The more dangerous the makeup, the more divine the image. A cruel trade between vanity and survival. In the silent halls of royalty, beauty was not only a crown, it was a slow poison, killing those who wore it while keeping their power alive. In the grand theaters of royalty, appearance was not just vanity, it was politics in its purest form. Every royal face was a message carefully crafted for the world to see, a visual declaration of strength, purity, and divine right. Kings and queens understood that power was not only held through armies or crowns, but through the image they projected. Portraits were painted to exaggerate their perfection. Flawless skin, radiant eyes, and calm, godlike expressions that made them seem more than human. These idealized images were spread through kingdoms to remind people who ruled them and why. A painted face became propaganda, a tool to inspire awe and obedience. The royal image was so carefully constructed that even a wrinkle or a blemish could be seen as a sign of weakness. So makeup became a mask of control, hiding fear and decay behind layers of powder and paint. In the court, beauty was power politics, a performance where every shimmer of gold and every hint of rouge served to maintain authority, reminding the people that their rulers were chosen by heaven itself. The royals understood something far deeper than fashion. They understood the psychology of control. They knew that people are drawn to what they idealize, and so they made themselves living symbols of perfection. Their faces, painted pale and untouchable, created a distance that kept ordinary people in awe and submission. The power of beauty wasn't just in admiration. It was in manipulation. When the masses looked upon a flawless queen or an ageless king, they didn't just see a ruler, they saw a divinity, someone beyond the reach of human flaws. This illusion built loyalty, fear, and even worship. Makeup became their invisible weapon, a way to control perception without speaking a word. Red lips symbolized bloodlines and strength, white skin purity and superiority, and coal-lined eyes the power to see beyond the mortal world. By perfecting their image, the royals perfected their control, turning beauty into psychology and appearance into authority. Their painted faces didn't just rule kingdoms, they ruled minds. But every illusion eventually cracks, and the royal mask of beauty was no exception. As time passed, the people began to see through the paint, realizing that beneath the powdered faces and jeweled crowns were humans driven by vanity and greed. The same white skin and rouge that once symbolized divinity became the face of corruption and excess. During revolutions like France's, the powdered elites became the villains of their own beauty myth, symbols of oppression while their people starved outside palace walls. The makeup that once inspired awe now provoked anger, and the flawless faces that once ruled hearts became reminders of deceit. The royal glow turned into a ghostly mask, its magic broken by truth. Beauty, once their weapon, became their downfall, and the mirror that had once reflected power now showed decay. The illusion shattered not with war, but with awareness. When the people finally understood that the perfection they admired was painted, poisoned, and false, even though the crowns have faded and the thrones have turned to museums, the royal illusion of beauty and control still echoes in our modern world. Today, the faces of queens have been replaced by influencers, celebrities and leaders who rule not from palaces but from screens, using filters, lighting, and luxury brands to project the same untouchable perfection. Just like the royals once did, they craft an image so flawless that people cannot help but follow, envy, and obey. The language of beauty has evolved, but its purpose remains the same: to inspire desire, admiration, and silent submission. Every smooth face on social media, every sculpted body in a commercial, carries the same hidden message once painted on royal skin: power belongs to those who look perfect. We may no longer kneel before thrones, but we still bow before the glow of manufactured beauty. The faces have changed, but the spell remains. The modern world still worships the same illusion. Only now it's digital, filtered, and global. In the end, the story of royal beauty is not just about makeup or power. It's about the human hunger to be seen, to be admired, to feel above imperfection. From ancient queens painting their faces with poison to modern idols painting theirs with pixels, the desire has never changed. We have always confused beauty with worth and illusion with truth. The royals ruled because people believed in the image they created, just as we now believe in the flawless faces glowing through our screens. But when the paint fades and the filters fall, what remains is the same fragile truth, that power built on perfection can never last. Real beauty, the kind that outlives time and titles, has nothing to do with how we look. It lives in the stories we tell, the kindness we show, and the light we leave behind when the mirror finally goes dark.